We got to start this video off very serious when I say it's time to get out of California, okay? Not all of California, but a decent amount of it. When the power gets shut off out of a fear of spreading wildfires, it would probably be smart to get out, okay? Go somewhere safe for several reasons. One, without power, you are at risk. And this is especially for people with medical conditions. More importantly, there's a fear of wildfire. Now, I'm not going to say just because the power is out, you should go, but if it were me, I would leave in that circumstance. But we've also now, we have 200,000 people being evacuated, 2.4 million without power, and a 3.3 magnitude earthquake rocking the area as firefighters are struggling to battle this flame. This is a series of pretty bad disasters. So listen, I don't want to be dickish, but first and foremost, I want everybody to be safe. If you're in California, earthquake's tiny. I don't think that's going to be a big factor. But with the wildfires that are consistently sparking up, you need to evacuate, especially if they're telling you to evacuate. You need to take care to protect your home. There's a lot of things you should be doing right now for a lot of different reasons. Outside of these disasters, which I will be reading about, I want to talk about just, man, it's time to leave California, period. You've got soaring gas prices. You've got a homeless crisis. You've got raging wildfires. The power is being shut out. All of these things are stacking up. Drugs, human waste. California is a mess. It is not getting better. It is getting worse. And these fires are escalating. And they're escalating for a reason. Now, there's a very well-respected meteorologist who has pushed back on some of the far-left claims about climate change, who's come out and said these dry weather patterns are attributed to climate change. The jet stream is acting weird. Hey, I take his word for it. This guy's been correct, and he's pushed back on the far left. He's even pushed back on AOC. So now he's saying, listen, okay? That being said, maybe it's time, regardless of the weather and the fires, to look at the other problems California is being rocked by. You've got homelessness across the state. It's not just LA, it's SF, Sacramento. You've got people coming out closing their businesses. The problem isn't being solved. And in fact, it's being made worse. Now you've got Newsom. People want a recall of this guy. He's a Democrat. Gas prices went up. They approved a new tax. The prices are ridiculous. I got to say, man, if you have made it through this far, you have my respect. How you are able to stay in this place, I left a long time ago because a lot of these problems. Not entirely, but there was a lot going on. And I realized California is not all it's cracked up to be. That, basically, Los Angeles in particular, they romanticize what this place is really like, and you get there and you're like, man, this is actually kind of bad. There's a lot of bad stuff. I couldn't deal with it. In fact, I actually had my apartment burned down. It's a whole other thing. But I stuck around for a bit. I decided to leave because, yeah, there was a lot of weird and bad things. Venice was not this fun, exciting place I thought it was going to be. There was a lot of problems. I don't want to get too negative on this because I know it's a rather serious issue with these wildfires. But you've got natural disasters, and now you've got governmental disasters. You combine the drought over the past several years, okay, with these wildfires, with the power being shut down. I don't know how anybody is staying in California at this point. I will stress, they are going to Austin. A lot of these Californians are going to Texas. They're going to Colorado. Maybe this is when people start, fleeing the West. And here's the thing. The West in the U.S. The East Coast gets more than half of the rainfall. More than half of the population lives on the East Coast. The Western Coast is not very dense. It's just these big cities. But let's read, actually. Figure out what's going on. And then we'll talk about California. They say, wildfires are continuing to ravage California as they force 200,000 people to flee their homes and threaten celebrity mansions and LA's Getty Center, which houses historic artwork. Northern California, which has been hit hard by the Kincaid fire, also reported a minor 3.3 magnitude earthquake on Monday, just after 1 a.m. local time, not far from the wildfire that has forced 80,000 residents in that area out of their homes. There were no immediate reports of injuries or damage from the quake. I think it was like a year or two ago. I was in LA, and I was in Pasadena. Actually, it's basically LA, but it's Pasadena. And I looked up as I was leaving early in the morning, and there's a fire on the hill. It is a crazy thing to see with these wildfires because most people don't think it'll happen. One day you've got this beautiful, lush greenery all around you. You give it a couple weeks, no rain, drought, weird weather patterns, dry air, and all of a sudden it's brown and fires are sweeping across where you live. They say the state has been plagued by at least 9 wildfires since last week. with the latest blaze to break out on Sunday near the Getty Center. Flames were seen raging along the 405 freeway near the museum, which displays pre-20th century works of art by artists including Rembrandt and Van Gogh. Celebrities have been fleeing their homes, and dramatic footage showed flames rapidly spreading towards 8-bedroom Brentwood mansion of actor Josh Duhamel Monday. He bought the 8,232 square foot sprawling property with then wife Fergie for $5.2 million in 2007. Kate Hudson was seen getting into her vehicle in the upscale Pacific Palisades neighborhood to evacuate early Monday morning as the threat of fire loomed large. And NBA star LeBron James also evacuated, tweeting, "Man, these LA fire emoji aren't no joke. Had to emergency evacuate my house, and I've been driving around with my family trying to get rooms. No luck. There's not even hotels. Dude, I don't know how you stay in here, man." My heart goes out to all the people who are being affected by this. But let's be real, man. It's not the first year this has been going on. It's only getting worse. The state is horribly mismanaged. And look, you know what, man? You know all these rich people, not in my backyard. They have a Democratic supermajority in LA. They can't solve their homeless crisis. And one of the big problems is all the rich people living up in the hills in their mansions where they don't see the problems. But I'll tell you what, man, you cannot escape this because now the fires are sweeping through the hills and you're forced to evacuate and there's nowhere to go. Man, you've got people sleeping on the streets. You've got human waste in the streets. You've got drug problems. The homeless problem is only getting worse. Gas prices are skyrocketing. How much more can these people take, man? But it's true. California is draining in population, and it's actually kind of surprising. But I think one of the big factors, as I've mentioned in the past couple of videos on this issue, is the digital economy. You don't need to live there anymore. You can make movies in the middle of nowhere. You can make low-budget indie films. If you have the skill, the talent, you do it right, you can go into Nebraska, film that video on the cheap. So now there's opportunity for you to get out. You know, there's a joke in LA. There's a sticker on Amoeba Music, which is near Hollywood. I think it's in Hollywood. And it said, "Welcome to Los Angeles. When you leave, take someone with you." Everybody keeps coming. And it's not going to work. I know a lot of people who moved to California, specifically to Los Angeles, because they wanted to be actors, musicians, and be famous, and they ended up dregs, to say the least. They ended up in very, very just not good situations, if you know what I mean. Drugs, prostitution, and that's what this place breeds. Sure, there's success, but I'll tell you what, man. LA is the city you go to when you're already rich and famous. Then you get your big old mansion. But now this is what you can contend with. Nah, it's not worth it. We have to break the hypnosis that this state has on people. It is not, it's got great weather, okay? Like, it's always 69 degrees and sunny with decent humidity, and it's great. You can go outside any day. But I'll tell you what, man, it has got so many problems. It is not a paradise. You'd be better off in the middle of the country, working and surviving and getting away from these problems. And I'll tell you what, part of what makes these problems worse is more and more people keep coming. So I think it's really important we sort of break that hypnosis they have on the rest of the country where they pretend to be this great place where everyone's got to be. You got to be a star. That's their marketing job. They want you to come there and spend money because there's very few cities on the West Coast relative to the East Coast. You know, it's a couple hours from New York to Philly to D.C., Los Angeles, 5 hours to SF. Yeah, there's some small cities in between, but you've got corruption, you've got crisis, and now an earthquake and a fire at the same time, and they're shutting the power off on you. Dude, it's time to get out. Look at these photos. It's amazing. I mean, it's horrifying. I don't mean amazing in a good sense. Like, this is nuts. It's only getting worse. Like, at what point do people just say, "No way, man, look at this. It's LA. This is Pacific Palisades. Wow, look at that." LeBron James and Kate Hudson, they got the evacuation warning over here. This is bad. 18 minutes later, he wrote an update, "Finally found a place to accommodate us. Crazy night, man." He also added, "I'm praying for all the families in the area that could be affected by these fire emojis. Pretty please get to safety ASAP." Look at those photos, man. I gotta tell you. Arnold Schwarzenegger, the movie star and former governor, also tweeted that he evacuated his Brentwood home at 3:30 a.m. If you're in an evacuation zone, don't screw around. The Terminator star tweeted money. Get out right now. Man, there's some heartbreaking stories. But I just want to... They say, I'm not going to read this. You know, night flying helicopters have made water drops. I think you get the point, man. With the mismanagement, with the poverty, And now even the rich people are being inundated. This is, you know what? You want to play life on hard mode? Fine, go to LA. There's resources few and far between. You head east, you get nothing but Mojave Desert until you can make it up to Vegas is still in the desert. I don't know, man. I feel bad because I feel like there's a lot of young people who are being told this is the place to be. I cannot tell you how many times I've talked to some young YouTube star or YouTuber, and not star, but somebody who's rising in YouTube, and they're like, I'm going to move to Los Angeles. And I'm like, don't do that. It's the last thing you want to do, man. I moved out of New York. I'm in the suburbs, okay, in South Jersey. I got away from all of that. You don't have to do that anymore. But as much as people keep thinking, this is the place you got to go to make it, man, it's only going to get worse. Don't do it. I got a couple more segments coming up in a few minutes. Stick around. I will see you all shortly.